Center stage. Someone cue the lights, the cameras rolling. Center stage. We got the juicy juice to keep it flowing. Center stage. Just when you thought you knew what you knew, you tuned in to Center Stage.
Center Stage is an InBigIsland.com production.
This episode of Center Stage is brought to you by Build It Green. Come by and see us for all your solar needs. Build It Green. Go big, then go home.
Aloha and welcome to this new episode of Center Stage. We are here on the couch with Brother Lito Arkangel. How's it, brother?
How you, my brother?
Or is it Arkangel?
I
heard the debate on an interview somewhere, so I figure we start out with that.
It depends where you come from. Like all the old school kupuna from Ola'a, they know that family is Arkangel, but they're both correct, Archangel, Arkangel. So either way, polole.
Cool. Let's start with that. Where are you from on the Big Island?
I'm from the old plantation town of Kea'au, originally called Ola'a, and grew up in probably the last generation of plantation style upbringing and living, and yeah.
Is that where your music inspiration comes from?
My music inspiration comes from originally my grandmother was the church pianist at that yellow church in Kea'au across from the post office, and I was a very hyper child, go figure, and
weren't we all?
Yeah, and I couldn't sit in the pews by myself because I would either disappear or make somebody cry like my sister or something. So I was forced to sit next to my grandmother at the piano and turn pages, and it was so funny because I would often get distracted, and all I would feel was a slap on the neck. Turn a page. What's wrong with you? And behind me was the choir, and next to me was my grandmother, and in front of me was the piano. So I would be listening to all these arrangements and all of these different parts of the vocals and of the choir, and then I would just retain it naturally, without even trying. And then through the years, as I went to school in Kea'au, in elementary school, I had a lot of good teachers that basically guided me and helped mold me towards my talents.
Nice. So with that, I know you're a surfer. You like to surf. We'll get into that a little later. But the style of music that you play, I mean, being caught up with the world and how it is right now or whatever, but the style of music that you play is Hawaiian music. How were you able to stay rooted to that and not get into whatever other stuff, other types of music?
Yeah, I think ironically it was going away that allowed me to grasp my roots and fully appreciate who I am and where I come from. And a lot of us that are born and raised on the Big Island of Hawai'i don't get the opportunity to see beyond the state of Hawaii. And when you do, and you're, for lack of a better term, forced to stay away from home, you tend to appreciate all the little things that we take for granted here, like the music, and Hawaiian music especially. And I was taught Hawaiian music from a very young age, and I've learned Hawaiian music through visual learning, as we traditionally all have through generations in Hawaiian music and Hawaiian ohana. But like your father, I grew up watching him, play. We would come to family parties. I think the first person I opened for was your dad back in 1985 or so. It was my grandfather's retirement party from Puna Sugar, and of course your dad is always there, family, and he's playing, and I had a little skit to do, and it was supposed to be with my cousins, but they chickened out on me and then left me by myself. But nonetheless, I prevailed and I came through with it. So that really that helps me to all of that, and going away, it really helps me to appreciate and hone in on the foundation of Hawaiian music. And of course, I do a lot of other genres, but it was really important for me to come out with this CD, all traditional contemporary Hawaiian music.
And it's a beautiful CD, I might add. Lito Arkangel, Me Ke Aloha. Beautiful. How did the process of this go, and how was it?
This CD took about 15 years to make. Since I got out of the military in 1999, I came back from Yokosuka, Japan. I was forward deployed, so I was in the Gulf 6 months out of the year, and the other 6 months I was in Japan, playing tons of Hawaiian music for just for fun, in Japanese establishments, at halaus from Hawaii that would go up there. I would play with them. They thought that I was in the halau. I was like, oh no, I'm sponsored by Uncle Sam. So when I came back from the military in 1999, I was set. Now I needed to develop the path. The general path was there, but specifics and how I'm gonna go about doing this, it took me some time to figure it out, because I didn't want to jump into it traditionally as you would see how people would make CDs, because it wasn't working at that time. CD revenue has become obsolete, physical CD revenue.
Right.
It's now an iTunes generation.
Right.
So I stopped what I was doing, and an uncle of yours, Uncle Rupert, who was like my big brother, and he carried me on his back, and one of those guys to kick me out of the tree when I was old enough to fly. He pushed me to and urged me to put in those man hours, those 10,000 hours, because you can't consider yourself a professional at anything without incorporating those 10,000 hours and developing that wisdom that you can only attain through experience.
Right. Cool.
So that developed, and through the years, I developed a vision of how I wanted the CD, and I also had to develop a set list of compiling 200 years of contemporary Hawaiian Awana style music into 12 songs.
How did you even choose the songs that are on here? Because there's some classics.
Yeah, there's some classics, and you had to think about, okay, was this song done last year or the year before?
Right.
Do I want to be redundant?
The good thing is you put your own spin to all of these things,
Yeah.
All of these songs got your own twist to it. Although it's classic songs, you did your own thing to it, which is cool,
Well, yeah, and then I always believed, and a lot of the kumus that taught me, they said, you get ma'a with something, familiar with something, but then eventually your goal is to be pa'a with something, is to be solid and firm with it, know it like the back of your hand. Only then can you develop your style off of that particular song as is. So for me, I had to meet criteria for it to be able to fall in the lines of being on this CD. Number one, it had to have a personal meaning. Meaning, like, for example, Mauna Loa was one of the very first Hawaiian songs that was taught to me by a kumu, Mr. Clarence Zukeran. And at the time, I was 4th grade, and I was going through some really traumatic stuff as a 9-year-old. My parents are getting divorced. Puna Sugar was shutting down. So you had all kinds of stress surrounded me, and it was, kind of rubbing off on me. And as a kolohe child, it can tend to affect us in a negative way. And so Mr. Zukeran saw that, and he was the first one to really get me to start playing ukulele. And I caught on real fast, and he told me, and so did my Auntie Connie Camarillo, who was also a teacher in Kea'au school, told me that this song is just like you, it's a kolohe song. And so I knew this song all my life, and I did this out of respect for my kupuna and kumu who taught me, and also to accept the fact that the Lord made us who we are for a reason. Right. And we need to embrace it, because if we don't, then that's where we're going to come into problems and have difficulty finding ourselves. Mm-hmm. So every song's got a little bit of those criteria: personal connection. It has to be a conversational. It has a really good kauna to it, or sometimes a hidden meaning, or it just reveals my characteristics of who I am.
What's your favorite song?
No more. They're all my favorite.
All your favorites.
Yeah,
Good
I get 20 more favorites that never make the list. But, it was a collaborative decision. It wasn't just me, but yeah, I'm very happy with what I did, and that, I think, in turn is the ultimate goal that I would, if any advice I would give to anybody making a CD, it's not about who they're trying to impress, as long as they're happy with their project.
Nice, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. We're gonna do something that we like to call InBigIsland.com quick fix.
Okay.
All right? So it's just a rapid fire bunch of questions, and I only want one answer. All right? And we're gonna do this real fast. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The In Big Island quick fix coming at you right now. Best place to surf?
Honolulu.
Honolulu. You have to say that, bro.
No, I was thinking Keaukaha. Honolulu.
Mauka or Makai?
Makai.
Favorite tutu's dish?
Potato salad.
Potato salad. It's not even one dish. It's some side dish there. You know one big mountain of potato salad, huh?
I put the rice on the side. When I see Tutu's potato salad, I whack the whole thing.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
It's briefs, ladies and gentlemen. Scrambled or fried?
Fried.
Fried. And favorite topping on a pizza?
Mushroom and sausage.
Rice or poi?
Roy.
All right. Before we go any further, we'd like to thank these sponsors.
We had called several companies to come out and give us an idea. I've looked at solar for over 20 years, but moving here, it made perfect sense because of the money. I called Macaulay at Build It Green. Not only did he come out, he did a full survey of my home, left testers in my home, and then talked to us. So we were done. We planned a custom install to meet my needs, not what he thought I wanted, but what my home needs. And I was very satisfied when we used them.
Here at Build It Green, Hawaii, we go big, then go home.
This is the portion of the show we call Center Stage Live. The CD is called Make Aloha. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lito Arkangel.
The song is dedicated to the memory of Uncle Richard Piggy Kaleuhana. Ai ai ka uka o pi honua ke ki hapai pua ulu mahi e hi laila Nama